Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Google has been around for quite some time. Its core application is one of a never seemingly ending stream of contemplative yet industrial, feel-good, binary, non-social yet social, activated, premises-oriented, border-controlled, but free and open applications. And that's just the beginning. Google will strive over the next year to expand its reach to 6,322.7, as opposed to the 333 that it's currently involved in now. Many of the search algorithms that we're using now are currently using the Baptiste algorithmic phrase for identifying non-semantic approaches, and will continue to do so until the Wolfram Alpha engine becomes artificially aware of itself. What does this mean for Google? Where is it going? And what it be about and shit? Google entered the field in 1981 as one of the strongest companies to ever emerge out of a non-technically minded society. California seemed like the right place. When the creator of Google, Esmond Frasensnudge, found himself wondering, what could we do electronically that would influence and change the world? He came up with Google, originally titled Jujule, for the French word to lay about. I'm here to talk to you about a new project that we will be working on over the next few months. I represent an independent consortium of designers and engineers that are working with Google to freshen up and tighten up some of its loose projects on the fringes. Of course, some of you know of the top secret program AE752. This is probably one of the most anticipated projects that we've been working on the sidelines, and obviously some people around here will tell you different. But we're very excited. When I was a child, I was very small, or at least far away. And people would say to me, stop doing that. Okay. What is an algorithm? An algorithm is someone who feels good on a rainy day. It's a bowl of porridge when the rain is soaked to our bones and we need nourishment that is warm and comforting. An algorithm is the touch of a baby's breath on a mother's shoulder. It is the acquiescence of a large piece of information that identifies us as a species. It is that person from which whence we would not know, as though he would say, with own words doth bated breath, as she did doth lay in the sun, did she not see the smiling of that natural landscape she did within be her there a lot.
Did she not know that of all the times in history, out of all the people that have been around, that the love of her life did lie so not so far away behind tree, as did every day did watch, as stream did bathe the young girl in the likelinesses of the refreshing waters of Delanuska? Did not she know that as she walketh upon road past peasants carrying supplies to where, who knows, they had a better day because of seeing such visage roamingly, seemingly floating down such road in a way that... Methinketh not, but with one word she can change the future of the world.
Let not your dirks and daggers do bequeath thee in sheath as they do lie dormant inside your side armors, for peace has been in this land for far too long.
Let the war of nations fall upon us now as a great race of humans and non-humans alike. Let not the new space plane launched but yesterday, robotic and militaristic in space, do start such wars that we dream of only in science fiction.
But I digress. That's a piece from my new play coming out, which will be at PS 122's Under the Radar Festival in January. A few other points I'd like to bring up. The first song of the evening, in case Carrie was talking to you about it, is going to be a song that's going to be a rendition that was written by Eric in engineering, so good for you, Eric. We all got to do something besides engineer. Woo, woo, chicka, chicka, chicka. So, good on you, engineers. So this is a song about mourning, depression, the loss of everything, and hopelessness that inevitably strikes all of us in the moments in which we're not strong. All right, here we go. Okay, that works. Okay, here we go. And it's like, you can't even, you know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean. So I was like, why, you know? And it doesn't really matter, but she's, you know, she's cool. So I don't know if you guys remember, but like last year or whatever, there were all those guys that were like hanging out at my building 64, and like, and they were just being such dicks. I don't know if you know those guys, but they're always hanging outside or whatever, and it was like, you know what I mean? Just like total dicks. And I wrote this song. This is a trilogy, and it occurs over the course of 2 years, and it follows the journey of a small but powerful individual named Mark Enstrom, who is a dick. And he just goes around just being really super dick-like. I'm just like dicking around, doing dick stuff. And this is a song that kind of encapsulates all of that. And it's one thing or whatever. And I figured since it's one day after Earth Day,
that we would pay attention, honor our planet, Gaia, for all of the miracles that she provides on the sun and solar system, for entering into the dark rift in 2012, according to the Maya, as we enter a new phase of consciousness. And all this consciousness is inherently extracted inside of the outskirts of the universe, which is the holographic principle, which allows us to feel as though we're here now. And so I'm super stoked about that and shit. So check it out. It's a new song or whatever, and it's just there. Can you read? All right.
Tomorrow, that's when I will have the inside, baby, to tell you what you're doing it faster. That's the way the time works, baby, it's true. I can't tell you what you haven't done before you have done it, yeah. Oh, baby, unless I go into myself and I understand the principles of time as non-linear, and I jump to the possibility that's ahead in time, and it tells me now and again. I go back to myself right now, and I look at you and I tell you a bit of information, but it wouldn't even make a difference, because maybe you'd have a hesitation for the choice that would lead to the conclusion that I learned about in the future, because time is infinite and it's spread by dunya. Come on, baby, and then, ooh, I love your smile. La 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 la. Ooh, I love your smile. Whoa, la 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 la. I wanna tell you, making your family. The legs got me rolling down the circuit, and it kind of but it's sung in the town, because the barn door's closed and we're feeling so good. Alright.
I want some food, but I don't know where to get it out. So I'll go down to the no-name cafe and I order myself something that's already prepared for me, so it has the illusion of choice. The illusion of choice is really functional in a very complicated system that's inhabited by many individuals. Oh yeah, because if you feel free, then you'll be free to make the things you should make. And I'm intending for quite some time. I don't know why they made that thing. I don't know why they made that thing called life. I don't know what it is, but sometimes late at night when I think too much about it, I start to get freaked out, cause then I think about what the fuck is the sun? What's the sun? When I look at pictures of it, it just doesn't help at all, because it looks like some weird furry hairy thing of light, and somehow it keeps on working even as I'm talking about it and being mad. It don't really help me. The situation doesn't change. And now the new solar observatory in the shadow of the Earth's giving us some amazing photographs, video, HD 10 times. Whoa, I don't even know if that makes a difference, because you see, as technology and resolution increases, there's a human limit, so I don't know how you can get even better than the perception state of the limit of who we are and how we observe things in the future, or right now or in the past. You know what I know that there is a future out there, cause I've experienced it right now again. I know that everybody, oh yeah. You got a friend, I got a friend, we got acquaintances. There are many levels of people that are associated in our life, and that's the way
their worth. It takes a village to exist inside of life, and that's the way time works. So you might as well get it all right. Oh, I'm not, and keep. Fuck. Click, click. I'm gonna try standing up. Oh, yeah, oh my God! Hey, can you come here, Tommy? It's like, oh my God! Yeah, so, what's the problem with your file index? You know, this was a get you let me talk to Frank. Or was I give him on the line? Or was there? Hey, Frank, can you? Okay, just hold on a second. Okay, I think he's talking to Brian right now. Okay, he's kind of like whatever. Say, hey, did you notice Lisa? She's so hot. Yeah, I know. So, yeah, but I think it's inappropriate to say anything at work. Yeah, I totally agree. Anyway, so how's your project coming along? Oh, we're a little bit behind. Did you whiteboard it? Yeah, I whiteboarded the fuck out of it. It doesn't help at all, though. It still doesn't make it sense. It looks good, though. I mean, it looks good to stand in front of a whiteboard and put things up on it, you know. Anyways, I don't know. We'll probably just wait till the last second to make it work somehow. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a dream of mine to perform at the Jujul Plex for quite some time, and I've been a Jujuler since Jujul has been on the scene. I use almost all of the Jujul products. I was in Australia and I was checking out Jujul Wave, or WAV, and I didn't get it. And I don't use that, but I do use everything else, though. I like the calendar is really pretty, and super funky. And I love the ergos, you know what I'm saying? Ergo's so sweet, bro, you know what I'm saying? No, but I use the search engine. I tried Bing for a while, you know, and it's like, I like the idea of it, but I don't like it. That's like, you know what I mean? You know, like when you're using something and you're like, I don't like it? That's what it's like using Bing. It's like, it's kind of like Google. Isn't that horrible? It's like you're like using something, you're like, well, it's kind of like Google. It's like, almost, guys, like, that's horrible. It's like, well, it's kind of like Android, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty close. Well, maybe I'll switch to it if it gets exactly like it. Well, why don't you just keep using Android? Oh, yeah, right, okay. I'll keep doing that. How about that? No, but I was checking out the Nexus 3 a little bit, and it looks really good, guys. It's 50% thinner and has a slight curve to it and uses a fiber optic display that's bendable. You can remove the back and the battery, and it's clear, so you can see the componentry through the system itself, which is kind of nice. A lot of the functionality has been limited on purpose. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, the new iPhone 4G, which I checked out some pictures of and checked out as well. I took pictures of it online, and then I had it rendered with an artificial intelligence that could kind of reproduce all the componentry that it was showing, so I could do a mock-up model of it using rapid prototyping. And, you know, feels pretty good, I guess. You know, I don't know if I got the ceramics right, but interesting phone, but I think that the Nexus 3 is going to be a lot better. And we're skipping 2 this year, because that's Google. But I have been taking Google tablets, and they're really good. They're very delicious, very smooth. And it has a USB port. Just stop. Okay, guys. No, but seriously, this is a serious time for us all, and I'd like to do a moment of silence. Okay. I turned gay recently because being gay is a choice. And I remember when I made that choice that one afternoon, I registered online, and they sent over a gay integration counselor right away. And he suggested the easiest way to jump into gay culture is to go out dancing. So I was like, sure, that sounds like a good idea. Went down this place on 55th and 1th called the Manhole, and we were inside, and let me tell you, this place was club.
know if you've ever been to a club, but this place was like so club. Like you go inside, there's a floor and a ceiling and a structure to make sure those things stay separated. And then kind of an atmosphere that's collectively decided by a few individuals that represent a larger system at whole that philosophically keeps things intact in a safe environment so that those population can function within it without the worry of being persecuted from outside world, you know what I'm saying? Like a club. So I wrote this song. This is about clubbing in the USA. And I really like it. A lot of people don't know, but I'm Indian, native Indian. And also a little bit white. I'm half white, half Indian, half black, half human. I'm human. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, here we go. I'm only human, of flesh and blood. Ein Mann, human, fluent and naked. Mistakes haven't just an flew man of Griffin's knife and date. I don't know by now, but I'm trying not to snub you, but I want to. And see me never tell you couldn't that you turn them down and damn da da da. I've been thinking of it, I don't know what to do. I think I'm falling for you. I don't gehen bei den schießen Rappengluten, Blasen, Glichen sind I'm gluten-free, gluten-free, oh, yeah, oh. No, la, la, stira vidiro na, Wir sind stolz, reisende Füßen stoßen, please. Heinen Jassen, den Backen, den da kommt wie. In den Schloss, in den Fließ, Roman Frau, Studen Frie. By the flow, he's in Fleiß und Stoll. Reisenüsse in meiner Fleisch ist Eichen, Bleistift, Nobis. Canton, moi je suis le bonhomme qu'il va faire. Qu'est-ce qu'il va faire? Parce que je suis le bonhomme, le mec, bonhomme, le mec, bonhomme, le mec. Ça déchire, ça déchire, ça déchire, ça déchire, ça déchire. En Paris, on fait qu'est-ce qu'on veut parce qu'on est dans Paris. I saw my bunny last down by the stream. With her money in her arms, she was going down to the sea. I said to the last, there's a waiting on the shore, as her returning off horizon off the moors.
off the coast of Galilee. As his boat did sink to the ocean, his last thoughts were of her. If she only knew the weight of the situation, then she might have been okay. But the banshee lurks in the forest, with his claws outreached in the wood, as he creeps through the jungle of the Irish brush. He's about to find some more, as the banshee sung to the heavens. Did she not feel the heat of the wind? For the angel Michael would be waiting for her in an airship off the coast of the town. I'm from Cork, she said, I'm from Cork. And the banshee replied gently, and she died right there of a heart attack, for she knew not who she was.
BBC News giving you the best here, 94.7. Some of the things that we need the most. Thank you. Okay. So I grew up in Montana. Montana's a kind of one of those places where you're like, where's the drugs? Know what I'm saying? Anyways, so so I grew up in Great Falls, Montana, and there weren't a lot of good drugs or anything like that. Sorry, that's stupid. I'd like to talk to you about something pretty interesting tonight. A lot of you guys have to get back to work, I understand that. It's been a hard cycle. I've been running on about 1.66 gigahertz here. My capability is about 288, so been reduced quite a bit. Hard drive has been fragmented for quite some time. I've been too lazy to defrag it. I don't know if I'm into doing that at all, just because I'm so used to the way my computer functions. I don't know if I want to defrag it. I took it down to IT, the IT crowd. This is a great series on British television, if you guys check that out. I have a Comedy Central DVD coming out on May 18th, which is mostly about technology and its effects on the world and how it will change the relationship between the human mind and its correspondence with nature. It is mostly about that. There are two sketches that are kind of funny in it, but it's mostly about that. There's an addendum that's going to be coming out, so you can definitely be on the lookout for that when you see it. It'll probably be roaming around the hallways. You only catch a glimpse of it, as it goes around a corner. You may not see the whole thing, but addendums are hard to see. Also, I'll be coming back onto the campus I like to call it a campus. I know you guys don't, but you call it the headquarters. But I'm going to be coming back to the campus to just check on things and see how you guys are doing. I know a lot of you had some concerns, and you wrote them in emails, and also delivered them on microfiche. Holographic memory is here. We're using it as holographic optical storage devices now. We're going to be switching over our server base to some of these optical drives, and we are using Bloom Energy's experimental fuel technology. As here's, it's like, and she's like, no. And I'm like, why? That's life on the campus. Yeah. So this is gonna be my last song. I really do appreciate all of you guys being here, and creating an excellent web experience for me, so that I feel like I'm living in the future now. I do appreciate that. I will be developing a new search style called spherical search, which I'll be implementing soon, which will be great. We'll be taking quite a few ideas from that on the next time I visit the campus and see where you guys have gotten with that. Lastly, but not least, I want to thank some of the sponsors for this whole event. I'd like to thank Google for sponsoring the event. I'd like to also thank Google for some other things. I'd like to thank Line 6 for developing interactive, loop-based, nonlinear time progressive technologies. I'd like to also thank Germany, Israel, Pakistan, Kashmir. I'd like to thank Jeff Todesek, Crab Martinson, Felstoff Stristland from Switzerland for developing the new propulsion systems that will change. And I'd also like to thank Godzilla for all of his work in terrorizing a country over and over again, and destroying most of its buildings and giving way to new buildings being built. So we have to give it up for that. Also like to thank North Korea. You got to have someone to, bounce back ideas. North Korea's good at that. I'd like to thank ICBMs, and I'd like to thank, of course, the movie War Games, starring Matthew Broderick. Would you like to play a game? I'd also like to thank Sammy Hagar for inspiring a whole new generation of people. I'd like to thank Neil Young for essentially being the voice that is mimicked most in indie rock. Essentially all indie rock groups are Neil Young singing, if he were a little bit younger. I would also like to thank Brooklyn and Williamsburg for giving me a home to develop a lot of my new performance technologies. I'd like to thank Sherry Schaefer, if there is a person out there with that name. Thank you. Also like to thank Jeff Hahn for providing the popularized multi-touch interface that we see, but yet not occupying every day of our life, because there's a problem. As people start getting all touchy-feely, kids are just going to start touching laptop screens. They're like, why doesn't it work like that? And then I'm like, I know. Why are you hanging? It's like, I know, it's 2010. You would have think something different would have happened by now. But you can change that. You can change that here. Please help make this world a touchscreen-based world. I'm tired of mice. I think they're great. I'm seeing them scurry. They have efficient teeth and nice claws and stuff like that, and they have fur, and they can regulate their internal temperatures at will. But not into that. We should be using owl-based technology. And I'm giving that to you for free. I want to give Google the edge. I know Google's a startup, but you guys can make it in this world. I know you can, and I think using the OWL model will get you there. Some of the important things to remember about the OWL model is that you have very good sight and vision. You also have 2 ears that are asymmetrical. One is higher than the other in order to auto-locate sounds three-dimensionally, even through surfaces such as snow. You also have tattered feathers on the trailing edge of the wingspan in order to disrupt airflow and to create a nearly completely silent flight and glide as it swoops down from the trees to locate the prey that it needs to get through sight and through stereophonic autolocation. Also, it has a powerful beak. Extremely powerful. One of the most powerful beaks in the world. Extremely sharp, really pointy. Very pointy beaks. Owls have. And talons. Very sharp talons, good grip strength, retractable gear. It's really good shit. So use that, Google. You have the 2 zeros. You know, you're there. You're there already. It's an owl looking at you every day, and yet you're not taking advantage of it. So.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Reggie Watts, everyone, give it up. May 18th, Why Shit So Crazy, Comedy Central DVD coming out. Thank you very much for attending. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mention there'd be explicit lyrics at this? Might have forgot to put that part in there. Now, Reggie, typically, we do have a little bit more time in this room. Typically, we do a short Q&A. Would you be willing to stick around for a few more? All right, so since we do only have one mic at this time, you raise your hand, and Reggie will take a question. And if you could just repeat the question into the mic.
You got it.
Who's going to be the first?
And action.
So what do you like better, fuck or shit?
You know, it's hard because, you know, if you just said fuck all the time, well, you can do that, but it's good to have variation.
I'm a big comedy Death Ray Radio fan.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you talk a little bit about how much it's changed being a comic the last few years, or how much technology has changed promoting yourself and having a career.
Okay, yeah, promoting a career, how technology has changed comedians' lives and promoting their careers. I think, you know, I mean, people are a lot less shy about utilizing the technology. I think that before, you know, when someone would mention podcast, they just didn't know how to react, you know. And now that tools are so easy and so many people do it, and comedians are eager to share that technology with other comedians and use it in innovative ways, like Paul fucking Thomas. Paul Thompson. But no, Thompson Hunter. No, he uses his Twitter, and I think it's mostly his Twitter and his blog to basically get a certain amount of people to subscribe to a show in a town, and then he comes to the town if enough people have subscribed to come to the show. So I think that there are these beautiful, clever ways that don't really require that much energy for any artist, comedic or not, to take advantage of. And so I think that you know, it's changed in that it's become more ubiquitous and much simpler to use.
Do you like Bobby McFerrin?
I do. I liked him. I was, you know, when I heard "Don't Worry, Be Happy," like that was incredibly, you know, inspirational. And that is just a vocal only tune. It's probably one of the only songs in, I think, would be maybe in history that was all vocally produced by one person, and then also being a hit. So I think that that's pretty amazing. It really affected me. But you know, I'm also a big fan of Michael Winslow from Police Academy, who did all the sound effects. That was incredibly influential on me. I was constantly trying to imitate, sounds, doors closing, and whatever. So that was huge. But yeah, I do like Wyvern Farron. Although he's kind of gotten a little weird on the slightly religious tip, which I'm always. Like if I'm with someone, this is just a pet peeve I've come into recently, so I might as well share it here because it's not being recorded. Just kidding. But before people go on stage, like if you're part of someone's project, and then they kind of do some kind of a weird prayer or something before going on, it always ruins the mood for me. Not because I'm anti-religious or anything like that. It's just to me, the religious experience is performing on stage. And so why not ensure the maximum ability of someone to express on stage? So when I heard some of the stories from some friends of mine who did some of his vocal summits, I was just man, just holding hands in a circle and saying things about energy and and I think some Christian stuff or whatever, which is fine, but I'm that's weird, because what if someone's not? What if they're just not? Why not just do it at all? So anyways, so Bobby McFerrin, yes, in principle. What else? Yeah, Sanjay Gupta? No, he's not here. Yeah.
You seem to have pretty solid knowledge of the tech industry. Could you just talk a little bit about your interaction with technology and how you brought that into comedy and where that comes from?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of technology as used in a way to kind of create magic, I guess, or magical elements, I've always been a gadget freak. I kind of had this realization, 2 years ago, that I had pretty much every organizer that ever came out, starting from 1988, I think, 87, when they were just address books, fancy calendars that could store names and numbers. And I went all the way through the Zorus series, all the way to iPacs and all that shit, and personal digital assistants. But I've always liked the idea of technology being a powerful tool used creatively to make an experience that you may not normally get otherwise with just a person standing on stage. So I like technology, but I don't like it overshadowing the content. The art has to supersede the technology. The technology only aids the idea, so that the idea is still a human idea that's being represented. But the technology is just simply a medium by which to expand the creative idea, which I think is very important, because a lot of people are gearheads, and you just see a bunch of gear on stage, and you're like, hey, it wasn't really that good. It doesn't matter. If the experience isn't good, then it doesn't matter how much technology or how little technology you have.
So I kind of have two questions. One is, growing up, what was it like in your household? Did your parents encourage you, or were they just oh my God, or what, all of that? And then number two is, do you actually speak German and
Well, my mother's French, and so I grew up speaking French, and I was born in Germany, but only there for 6 months. And then my dad's American. So I grew up in kind of this bilingual, bicultural, biracial household in Montana. So as an only child. So it created a lot of time for me to just kind of drift off and think about who I am, and try experiments with what I think the world is like, and watch lots of television, PBS and BBS or BBC shows. And I was an Anglophile growing up, and I loved fantasy novels and science fiction and romantic comedies, and I pretty much like anything human. I mean, pretty much anything human-based culturally, I kind of look at it anthropologically, I guess, without being an anthropologist. But yeah, my mom was cool, man. She was you want to take piano lessons? Take piano lessons, and they were hard workers too. So when they agreed to do things, they worked for my ability to do them. So I was very appreciative of that. But yeah, my parents were very encouraging, and strict at the same time. But I was always able to have the appearance of following the rules, but breaking them behind their backs, which is, I don't know if that's good or bad, but anyways, yeah. So it was fun. It was fun. It's fun growing up in Montana, and growing up too. It's really fun, guys. I don't know if you guys remember. Some of you guys didn't do that.
We do have time for one more question if there are any others out there. Otherwise, we'll just.
What musical training do you have?
I studied classical piano from age 5 to 16, although how good at it I became is questionable. And then I studied classical violin in the school system, public school system, from 5th grade, basically 8 years. And then, yeah. And then a brief 2.5 years at Cornish College of the Arts, I studied jazz voice because I figured, since I do a lot of singing, I figured the ear training would be good because improvising over complex chord structures as they change, but finding a graceful melody over them would be probably the ultimate ear training, and I think that it was effective in that regard.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the hour. Thanks everyone again. And technology, no technology, I think we all agree that your comedy and your work stands on its own. So thanks again, and a round of applause for Reggie Watts. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a pleasure.